Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning to you. It's Peter here from Get Safe Online.
Hi, good morning, Peter. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good, thank you, sir. And how are you?
I am great this morning.
Excellent. Is that Jojo I'm speaking to?
No, this is Nito. Jojo is not in office today.
Oh, hello, Nito, Mr. Baptiste.
Yeah,
Hi, nice to meet you.
nice to meet you too. Now, I've been speaking to our listeners about Get Safe Online, but you're the man with all of the information. You're the man with all of the knowledge with how this works. Give me
Bless you.
give me a brief overview of what is Get Safe Online and how does it work.
For sure. Well, Get Safe Online is a not for profit organization. We've been in existence for about 15 years, mainly in the United Kingdom. And what we do is we try and help people get safe online. And we provide information online, free to access. Anybody can access it. We reinforce that with PR and campaigns and advertisements because not everybody even thinks about the risks, let alone goes online to find out about them. And this year in Antigua and Barbuda and elsewhere, we are recruiting ambassadors who are people from within the country who can go out and spread the word face to face in communities. So we're just trying to reach people by any means possible to get the message out there that there are risks about being online and how to protect yourself from them.
Okay, excellent. Before we go any further, though, tell me about Peter Davies. I mean, what makes you an expert in this field?
Oh, well, I'm always careful of calling myself an expert because, well, the truth of it is that if you were an expert a year ago, unless you've caught up again, your expertise is fading fast. I've got colleagues who are great experts, but the reason I'm involved in this is simple. One way or another, I've spent my working life trying to keep people safe. And I worked for a long time in the UK in security and then in policing. And that took me to a place where I was working internationally to tackle threats to children and young people online. So this is like a natural extension of that. And it's really a fantastic opportunity for us to reach out beyond national boundaries and recognizing that we're in one global village now and we need to protect each other and share what we know. So this for me is a wonderful opportunity to carry on doing what I've always loved doing with myself, and it's a great organisation to work with. And in Antigua and Barbuda and our other partner countries, it's just a real pleasure. It's a real pleasure to contribute something useful and work with such wonderful people.
Excellent. Now, staying safe online, which is always important, but even more so now in an era where a lot of learning institutions where the young go to are turning towards online learning because of the whole COVID-19 pandemic issue and so forth. You did mention the elderly and the young being most at risk. Talk to me a little bit about that. How do we stay safer online?
Well, absolutely. And of course, you've got to bear in mind that we started this work long before this dreadful pandemic occurred. And what's happened since that took hold early in 2020 is just that people are spending all the more time online now than ever before, whether it's in their personal lives for socializing or keeping in touch with people, whether it's education, those vital years at school and college, or whether it's actually doing business by remote and working from remote. um, the vulnerabilities people always had online are just greater and greater and greater. And so, what we are ever so keen to do is try and protect everyone, but we have to prioritize. And I've had the great privilege of visiting Antigua and Barbuda. And one of the first questions we ask is who is most at risk? And the consistent message we get back is children and young people and the senior generation, if I can put it that way. Children and young people, because they're all over the internet, they're hugely excited by the opportunities it presents. They love the networking, the Facebook and the
Mm-hmm.
social networking that they can do. Unfortunately, they haven't got a lifetime's worth of experience, and they may be a little bit rash about what they do online, and they may be a little bit naive about who might be out there trying to cause harm. And actually, we've had recent experience in Antigua and Barbuda and elsewhere of students, especially girls, being bullied online and getting friend requests from people they don't know. They think they're other girls, they're actually adult males. And so this is stuff happening right now in Antigua and Barbuda. The other key part of the population is the seniors. And listen, I'm a senior myself by most definitions. And the thing here is that people have a lifetime's worth of experience about staying safe offline, but the internet is a new world. And two things might happen. Either they don't know how to bring all that world of experience to their online lives, or they're so worried about it they don't engage. And we know that you can miss out so much if you don't have a digital life in terms of transactions, contact with loved ones, and so on. So we're keen to give those people the confidence they need, but also the information they need to stay safe. And there's nobody in this world who is not safe, who is not totally safe online. Everyone's at risk, but those are those key parts of society that we want to protect most. Listen, we're not alone. We've got our brilliant ambassadors in Antigua and Barbuda. We work very, very closely with the relevant Ministry of Information, Communications and Technology, and we've got great contacts there. So we are part of the bigger team of people trying our best to make people safe in Antigua and Barbuda right now.
And it's interesting that you look at it from that perspective, because when people hear about staying safe online, I mean, 90% of them, oh, I'm safe online, I have an antivirus. You understand? Because they're thinking by way of viruses and so forth. But what you mentioned is actually individuals who would, come into your children's chat room or send your children friend requests, being bullied online and so forth.
Yeah. Forgive me. I should correct myself. I made a wrong reference there. Our key partners, and I do apologize to them all, are in the Ministry of Information, Broadcasting, Telecommunications and Information Technology. And to our great friends there, my apologies, I got it right eventually. Yeah, look, actually updating software is very important. Having an antivirus is very important, but that may protect you against some of the technical forms of harm. But a lot of the worst forms of harm that I've seen online come from human vulnerability. People believe things that they maybe shouldn't believe. People, for example, those girls I was talking about, they may just assume that the person trying to contact them is another girl from another school. They don't think to doubt what they see in front of them, and as a result, they can come to harm. And as I say, anybody can fall foul of that, any age, any gender, no matter what you've done in your life before. I've seen people of all types fall foul of that. So this is just as much about that human vulnerability, the likelihood of believing in something you shouldn't really believe, as about the technical vulnerability. But make no mistake, antivirus, updating your software is all important stuff, and so is protecting your passwords. I can't emphasize how many people are at risk just because they don't do simple stuff about changing their passwords or not making it easy to find those out.
Wow. Now, you mentioned the Antigua and the ambassadors you have in Antigua. Tell me a little bit about that, because that piqued my interest. How does one become an ambassador, and what does an ambassador do?
Okay, well, let me answer the second part of your question first. What do our ambassadors do? They go out and represent everything that Get Safe Online stands for in their local community. And we all know, you probably get this through doing your work in radio. You can reach people to some extent by remote, but I guess when you go and meet people face to face and they connect you, the person, with you, that beloved voice on the radio, you see there's something extra going on there.
Yeah.
And we see the same. It's great to reach people through a website, and thank heavens thousands of people a month go to the Antigua and Barbuda website and take a look at what we've got and hopefully learn something and take something away. And actually, it's great to reach people through adverts and things like that, and through radio interviews, which is why I'm so delighted to be speaking to you. But sometimes what people need is that face-to-face. And of course, we can't be everywhere, though we would love to be in the Caribbean full-time. The reality is we can't be. And actually, we're not the best people to reach people in Antigua and Barbuda. Your own people are. So we have these ambassadors, and this is a voluntary thing. It's a vocation. They don't get paid for it, but what they will do is they'll get our support, learn some stuff about cybersecurity, be mentored by our real experts, and get supported and given materials so they can go to a school or a church or a scout group or a youth group or anywhere there's a gathering of people who need to be protected, see them face to face and give them some clues, give them some information, get them motivated to think harder about online safety, and of course, send them to our website, getsafeonline.ag. So these are great people. We're in the process of recruiting at the moment. We've got 3 fantastic people in Antigua and Barbuda already. We got many, many more across the whole Caribbean. But look, we'd love to hear from people who think that's for me. I want to do that. And all they've got to do is send us an email at ambassador@getsafeonline.org. That is ambassador@getsafeonline.org. And they can find us. And we would love to hear from even more people who share with us the belief that spreading the word face to face, there's no substitute for it.
Excellent. Now, besides Antigua and Barbuda, you have been out there in a number of other Caribbean countries. How has that been going in the other countries?
Well, it's been really, really fantastic. And we work in a total of 12 Caribbean countries, all the countries that are part of the Commonwealth of Nations, and we get our funding through the UK Commonwealth Cybersecurity Strategy, for which we're very grateful. I've spent most of my life and my working life in the United Kingdom. It's been simply fantastic to work across the Caribbean. Every country, of course, is different. There's a different setup in every country. The diversity and the different makeup of things, and what generates the most motivation in each country. There are some similarities, but there are some fascinating differences as well. So I will be perfectly honest with you. It's been humbling. It's been an education for me and a fantastic opportunity to do this work. And what we aim to do, of course, is not provide one service to all countries. We want to provide a service to each country that is best for that country, which is why you've got your own website, getsafeonline.ag, why you've got ambassadors for within your communities, delivering the message locally, and why we work so closely with the ministry to understand how best to contribute to that work in Antigua and Barbuda, as in those other Caribbean countries. We've been able to expand this year into the Pacific and also into Rwanda in Africa, building on that success that we've had. And that success we've had in the Caribbean is down to the great welcome, the great support that we've had from people there, but also down to the fact that I think we're doing something useful that people appreciate.
What has the feedback been like? What's the feedback that you get when you go out, the ambassadors go out, you put this program out? Talk to me a little bit about that. How do people react?
Well, I tell you what, Nito, it would be great. It really would be great if maybe you can make some time on your program another time to actually speak to our ambassadors. We've got 3 fantastic ambassadors in Antigua and Barbuda. We'd love to have some more, but we love those 3 very dearly. And I'm sure they would like nothing more but to come on your show and give you their first-hand experience of what they know and what they've got out of working with Get Safe Online in this way. So I don't want to kind of pick them out as individuals, but what I want to say is this. We have had a fantastic take-up for this scheme from people who know that there's a problem and feel that they can contribute, but also gain something by way of professional development, learning, expertise, and that sense of making a contribution within their communities. So we've had lots of nice verbal feedback. Really, most of it, the credit goes to the experts that we've got in the team, working closely with them, my colleagues Liz and Paul and Rob. But to be honest with you, they're part of a bigger team. We've got a WhatsApp group going on. I don't know if I can mention that, but I have. And it unites all the ambassadors across all our different countries in the Caribbean. And it's a lovely, great ongoing conversation. We're welcoming new members pretty much every day. There's a whole load of training just gone on this weekend with a few people now qualified. It's a great community to join and be part of. We know it makes a difference, not just to those people, but the people whom they touch and reach out to. And we just want to carry on doing more of that, because that way we know we'll be contributing even more to people's safety. And that's what we're all about, which is where we started.
Talk to me a little bit about, how do I, as an individual, how do I put myself at risk for some of these things that you're talking about? Because I spoke to a friend a couple of weeks ago, and he said he got a WhatsApp message from someone purporting to be from WhatsApp and saying that he had won some prize. Immediately he identified it as a scam, but he just played along to see where it was going. Is that in itself a danger?
Absolutely. And the sad truth of it is that criminals and people with bad intent are unfortunately very creative, and they will try to find a way to get under your skin. And that kind of what we call an attack, a kind of phishing attack, is not uncommon. What people are trying to do is gain trust. And in the UK, we've seen emails supposedly coming out from the tax authorities offering you a little bit of a refund. The idea there is that you click on the link in that email, maybe give up some of your personal information, and that's gone. And then people can hack into your accounts and do you some serious harm. The truth is there are so many different ways of being attacked that it's impossible to list them, even in however long your show is. And there are some basic principles that do help, though, and this is where we can make it simple. And I'm going to give you an ABC, if I might, Nito. I could ask you about your passwords and how many different passwords you've got, whether you've got a different password for every device and how often you change them.
I don't think my brain is that good.
Am I making you comfortable yet? Or,
go ahead, I'm listening.
But these are easy ways. But the main thing to protect yourself from scams is to be skeptical about pretty much everything you see. And to help with that, I've got a little ABC that somebody taught me 30 plus years ago, and it still holds true today in this digital world. A is for assume nothing. Don't assume that the person who is on the other end is who they say they are, because they may well not be. Assume nothing. Second thing, B, is for believe nobody. Unless you know them already in real life and you know you can trust them, don't believe what you see in front of them, because there are so many ways in which it could be something a bit different. And C is check everything. If you're not sure about something, check it. A genuine caller or a genuine person will always be happy to give you more details. If you get suspicious, check, see if other people have had similar experiences and posted about them online. And don't give out your personal information to anybody unless you really, really have checked them out thoroughly and you can genuinely believe what they're telling you. So I can't give you a list of all the different ways in which you personally might be vulnerable, Nito, but they'll be there. The main thing is that you and all your listeners have that skeptical approach to what they see online and assume nothing, believe nobody on the face of it, and check everything, just so that you can be confident that what you're doing and the way you're sharing information online is truly safe and isn't going to open you up to some of those threats and vulnerabilities that unfortunately we hear stories about.
Okay, just before we have to wrap up though, because unfortunately we're just about at the end of our ropes in terms of time.
Of course.
This time of the year, a lot of people shop online. You use your credit cards, you use your debit cards. How do you protect yourself?
Well, the first thing is to be really, really careful that you're going to a genuine site. And if you're going online, there's a simple thing you can do is look at the top line and make sure it says HTTPS. And that shows there's a level of security on the website. And so the details you're putting on there aren't going to be sprayed across the internet for all to see.
Oh, really?
The second thing is to make sure you are on the genuine website of a person or organization you're genuinely purchasing from. Check every letter in the website, check every letter in the emails you're getting sent, because a lot of scammers just slightly misspell the name of a reputable organization or a bank or even a government department in the hope that you won't spot the difference. So have an eye for detail, and try and use payment methods that have built-in security. I won't use any brand names, but try and use methods that don't leave you out on your own and give you some way of getting your money back if it turns out not to be the deal you thought it was. Those are a few basic tips, but again, it goes back to my ABC. Just check stuff out. Be careful of who you're dealing with. Make sure you can have real confidence that your money, which you've probably worked hard to earn, is going to where it should go. And of course, at Christmas, everyone's keen to give gifts. This is a boom time for people selling gifts, but it's also a boom time for scammers. So be vigilant, stay careful, and watch out. And if you want to know more, there is always our website to go to, getsafeonline.ag. It's all there. It's a great resource. You can visit it, learn about any aspect of risk you want. You can always come back. It's free, it's easy, and it's designed for you.
Mr. Peter Davies, I want to thank you very much. This has been very enlightening, and I did learn something today in terms of the website, the HTTPS. That shows you that you're on a legit site.
Thank you so much. It's been a great pleasure talking to you, and a Merry Christmas to all your listeners, and stay safe in the new year.
Same to you, and same to you and the entire family circle.
All the best. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.